what do you want this coming year to mean? A year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you look back on this year, what do you want it to mean? Let me tell you a little bit about why I'm here. Maybe give you some ideas so that you have an answer to the question I posed. 4 years ago, I was an incoming area governor. Drove from Idaho Falls to Heyburn. We used to have these meetings in Heyburn until someone set off the fire alarm and we got kicked out from using that facility ever again.
And fun.
And I did not know we got fined.
We did get fined. Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
a lot of money.
A lot of money. Okay, bad combination. I had to drive down by myself because there was no one from Eastern Idaho involved other than me beyond my club. I came to that meeting not knowing anyone. A year later, I left with a lot of new friends. District Governor at the time, Emmy Jones, said 2 key words that I want to pass on to you. 3 words. Love your clubs. That's why we are all here. And when I heard those 3 words, and I saw all these people around me who were soon to become friends, I said, you know, there's something in Toastmasters more than my club. There's something more than giving 5 to 7 minute speeches. And then 2 months later, I attended my first international convention, which was in Las Vegas. One of the key things that starts off the international convention is the board of directors comes on stage, led by the international president, to tell us the status of our organization. Pat Johnson walked on stage. By the time she opened her mouth, you knew who was in charge. She had stage presence. She spoke with a Canadian accent, and the light goes on in my head and says, again, there's something more than standing up at a restaurant in Idaho Falls at 6:30 in the morning and giving a 5 to 7 minute speech. I look at the board of directors, I look at 2,000 people around me and say, they're from every country I've ever heard of. There's something big here. There's something with the potential to change the world. The keynote speaker that night was Dave Logan, and that's what his message was. Toastmasters can change the world. As Ellie, Lori the year before, Laura now, Donna in 2 months, as we meet international candidates, many of them talk about changing the world. And that's what we are really here to do. One person, one Toastmaster at a time. Toastmasters is bigger than any of us. It is bigger than our clubs. It is bigger than our district. So let me paint a picture for you. We're going to take a little time travel trip. The year is 2020. What does Toastmasters in District 15 look like? Well, it's still a place where a newly unemployed single mother can come to build her skills and confidence to help her find a new job. It's still a place we have tons of fun. It's still a place where each club has its unique identity, unique joys, unique styles. It's still the place where friends help friends. In 2020, more of those friends are hundreds of miles away. Every Toastmaster has a mentor, and some of those mentors are hundreds of miles away. The world has changed. Communication is even more associated with video. One of the challenges Toastmasters has met in 2020 is that Every Toastmaster knows in their gut when to use writing, when to use the phone, when to use video, when you must meet with someone in person. Because by the year 2020, that knowledge skill is what will be expected of a leader and a communicator. And since we build them in Toastmasters, that's what District 15 will provide. District 15, because of some of the changes in the education program and in how we run District 15, it has become easier for Toastmasters to take what they learn in their clubs beyond their clubs. Because as Darren LaCroix has said, no one joins Toastmasters in order to learn how to give a better speech at Toastmasters. We learn to improve our skills to take them with us throughout our lives, throughout everything that we do. And the world has become more diverse. Corporations and companies more global, friends and family more dispersed, news and social media more diversified. Toastmasters has learned how to deal with that and how to teach leaders how to deal with eclectic teams that vary by age, by location, by motivation, by birth language. So by 2020, the work we've done in 2015 to 2016 has borne fruit. In conjunction with the leaders that came with us, the leaders that came after us, we have a new revitalized world. And part of that is a revitalized education program, which has made 4 enhancements. The first of those enhancements is more recognition of what ingredient skills are necessary for you to bake your own dreams. More education morsels so that you can acquire those ingredient skills. A more personalized way through that buffet of education morsels so that you don't get lost, so that you get the education morsels that you need to get to your dream. And more assessment so that you understand how well you've internalized those education morsels. So that we don't have someone who goes through a Toastmaster program and not learn half of what they think they have. That's what the education revitalization is all about. We'll talk later, we'll talk over the coming months and years about all the details. But from the vantage point of 2020, we'll realize that it's done some fundamental things to revitalize the entire education program. Now in 2020, what do our clubs, our areas, our division, and the district look like? Well, the clubs, they still have the Toastmaster spirit. There are some clubs in 2020 that are totally virtual. The people meet online, not in person. This grew out of groups that were exchanging ideas, working on tough, rare skills. In fact, in 2020, the most recent club to charter will be the Humorous Engineers. And they've hired Darren Long as a paid consultant. Many of the clubs in the district, not a majority, are video linked between 2 locations. This has been pioneered by Bacchus Club almost since the turn of the century. Bacchus is in northern and middle Utah. It also allows Toastmasters to serve small communities, too small to support a 20-person Toastmaster club. The 2 communities, 2 halves of a club, are brought together by video. Most clubs in 2020 make use of video technology so that people can watch the best speakers in the world. They can interview people in and around the district. If a club decides they need a speech on some particular subject, we get them that speaker, whether the person can be there in person or not. And if someone's on travel from your club and they say, oh, I'm on travel, I can't take the opportunity to speak, your answer in 2020 will be, oh, yes, you can. Fire up your laptop and talk to us by video. Because that's an important skill that we will be teaching each other in 2020. Our areas. The area councils will be in place all around the district because that's one of the ways that the presidents, the area directors will come together. They will learn skills from each other. They'll have guest speakers in person or by video, and will be helping each other assess their health of their clubs. The division councils, the same thing. The divisions will have 4 excellent Toastmaster Leadership Institutes in Boise, Eastern Idaho, Northern Utah, Salt Lake, and South. They will be so popular, so much in demand, that they will be live video streamed to the 10% of the district that is more than an hour from those locations. And in fact, we may have those 4 places video linked so that we can have keynote speakers addressing all 4 simultaneously. And this won't seem strange, because that's what 2020 will be like. Those venues, by the way, will also be available so that people who can't go to the International Convention can come to those venues and see the International Convention live streaming by video. And the district will be growing leaps and bounds. We will have learned how to do public relations so that the media is watching speech contests at club, area, division, and district. The district conference will be live video streamed. TV cameras will be there. Our district champion will be a star. They all deserve that by 2020 we'll learn how to make that happen. Toastmasters will be a strong, visible presence in our district. In 2020, we'll have met the challenges. We will have revitalized ourselves, just as our revitalized education program has led us to new skills and better ways to get there. We will be serving the community around us. College students will flock to Toastmasters because they will know that that's where they can continue their skill development. Businesses will realize that instead of bringing in a trainer for a one-shot deal at a business meeting and the trainer just floats in and parachutes in, the real way to learn skills is by experience. And what's Toastmasters all about is experience and a chance where you can try and sometimes foul up without consequence. Now, back here in 2015, we are the custodians of Toastmasters in District 15 for the next year. We thank and honor those who have come before us. This is our year to build and strengthen Toastmasters, to build and strengthen ourselves, our clubs, our district. And we will turn over, as have our predecessors, next year we will turn over the district a stronger, more vibrant place than we found it. That's what the coming year means to me, and I invite you together what we can do for the next year to take this district to even higher development, higher chances to learn, higher chances to serve, and higher enjoyment.